What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andrew, and welcome back to Sports But Casually. And welcome everybody to the final episode, the season finale of my NBA Weekly News and Update series. Wow, we reached the end already, boy. 21 weeks passed so quick. I guess it's true what they say when time flies by when you're having fun. And what's better fun than watching basketball? So, yeah, week 21, the final week, took place from May the 9th to May the 16th. I included an extra day because it made no sense for that day to get its own video. But, of course, guys, before we get into the season finale, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SportsButCasually. Keep up with things I do there. And also be sure to like the video, share it with a friend, family member, or stranger, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video that I drop. And yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get into week 21's big headlines. Well, to kick things off, after a 28-point loss to the Sacramento Kings, the OKC Thunder have now been outscored by 498 points over their last 25 games, which is the NBA record for point differential in that game span. The record, I suppose you could say, was held by the 1992-1993 Dallas Mavericks at 489. So, congrats. No, that's bad. Don't say congrats. With his 42 points, 12 rebound, and 5 assist game, Anthony Davis is the first Laker since Elgin Baylor in 1968 to have back-to-back 35 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assist games. After dropping his 182nd career triple-double, Russell Westbrook passes Oscar Robertson for first all-time in the NBA's triple-doubles list. It was a long time coming, so congrats. Despite coming up short against the Golden State Warriors, Jordan Clarkson's 41-point performance coming off the bench was historical. Let's get into some of the records he has, shall we? He's the first player in NBA history to drop 40 or more points off the bench, attempt 15 or more threes, and have 0 assists. Secondly, he's the only player in Utah Jazz history to come off the bench and have multiple 40-point performances in a season. And finally, he's the first player to come off the bench and have multiple 40-point performances in a season since Lou Will did it in the 2018-19 season. Fun fact, he also won Sixth Man of the Year that year, so safe to say Clarkson has this award on lock. Speaking of the Utah Jazz, they set the record for most threes attempted per game with 16.8. The record was previously 16.1 a game. So, congrats. The Memphis Grizzlies tied a franchise record for most blocks in a game with 19. Speaking of the Grizzlies, Jonas Valanciunas becomes the first player in franchise history to have 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a game, while shooting 75% or better from the field. He's a former Raptor, so congrats, Jonas. Love you always. That shit. This is my heart. Love you always, bro. Russell Westbrook becomes the 5th player in NBA history to have 15 or more assists in 6 or more consecutive games. For the 9th straight season, the NBA has set a new record for 3-pointers per game with 12.7. Giannis becomes the first player since Charles Barkley in 1988 to have a 40-point, 15-rebound, 5-assist game while shooting 75% or better from the field. After losing to the Grizzlies, the Sacramento Kings will now be missing the playoffs for a 15th straight season, which ties the Los Angeles Clippers for the longest playoff drought in NBA history. They are ass. Wow, that's crazy. With his 17 assists in a victory over the Cavaliers, Russell Westbrook becomes the 3rd player in NBA history to have 15 or more assists in 7 straight games. He joins the great point guards John Stockton and Isaiah Thomas. No, not that one, the other one. You know my boy, Knicks legend Julius Randle recorded his first 30-point triple-double, which also makes him the first New York Knick since Carmelo Anthony in 2012 to have a 30-point triple-double. Wow, we're watching greatness, I swear. Speaking of my boy, Knicks legend Julius Randle. He becomes the first New York Knick to average 20 or more points, 10 or more rebounds, and 5 or more assists for an entire season. The greatest basketball player to ever live is Julius Randle, hands down. After capturing his second scoring title, Steph Curry now has some more accolades to his name. Let's go through them all, shall we? Firstly, he's the second player in NBA history to win a scoring title, being 33 years and older. The first, of course, being Michael Jordan. Secondly, he's the third player in NBA history to win multiple scoring titles, multiple championships, and multiple MVPs. The other two being Kareem and MJ. Thirdly, he averaged the most made threes per game in NBA history with 5.3, breaking his own record of 5.1 a few years ago. Tony Snell became the first player in NBA history to have a 50, 50, and 100 shooting season. Is Tony Snell the greatest player of all time? Like this Tony Snell? Is he now the greatest player of all time? So many questions. Kyrie Irving now becomes the 9th player in NBA history to have a 50, 40, 90 shooting season. He also becomes the 4th player in NBA history to average 25 points per game on a 50, 40, 90 shooting season. So, congrats to him. LeBron James passed ISO Joe Johnson for 13th place on the NBA's all-time three-pointers made list. And finally, oh my god, that was a long one. The Utah Jazz become the only team in NBA history to make 10 or more threes in every game of a season. And now it's time for my one interesting thing that happened in week 21. And that is the fact that now this season, the 2020-2021 season, will have the worst home court win percentage in NBA history at 55%. At least 11 teams would have losing records at home, which is kind of understandable considering everything that happened this season with that thing that prevented fans from attending, health and safety protocols, so you had a lot of games missed and backlogging of games, so you're playing like 5 games in a weekend, thing like that. So it was to be expected, but still, wow. So much for home court advantage, am I right? And now it's time to move into this season's final Players of the Week, starting as always with the Eastern Conference. And this week I'm going to give it to Domantas Sabonis of the Indiana Pacers. In the 4 games he played this week, he averaged 18 points, almost 11 assists, and almost 14 rebounds as well, getting a steal and a half a game plus a block a game as well, shooting 52.5% from the field and 40% from 3 on 2.5 attempts per game. Moving on to this season's final Western Conference Player of the Week, and I'm going to give it to Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. In the 4 games he played this week, he averaged just above 30 points, 2 assists and 4 rebounds a game, getting a steal a game as well, shooting just above 51% from the field, while shooting just above 39% from 3 on 11.5 attempts per game. Now let's move into this season's final Rookie of the Week, starting as always with the Eastern Conference. And I'm going to give it to my boy Malachi Flynn of the Toronto Raptors. In the 4 games he played this week, he averaged 20 points, just above 5 assists and 4 rebounds a game, getting almost 2 steals a game as well, shooting just below 39% from the field and 32.5% from 3 on 10 attempts per game. And now we move on to this season's final Western Conference Rookie of the Week. And I'm going to give it to Kenyon Martin Jr. of the Houston Rockets. In the 4 games he played this week, he averaged 14.5 points per game, just below 3 assists per game, and 8.5 rebounds a game, getting just above a steal a game and a block a game as well, shooting 45% from the field and just below 35% from 3 on almost 6 attempts per game. And now we get to the final segment of this series, the conference standings. So, which teams are in the playoffs, which teams are in the play-ins, and which teams are in the lottery? Let me know how your team did this season in the comments below. that wraps it up, everybody. That was week 21 in the NBA in a nice little nutshell. I hope that this video, well, not just this video, this entire series was informative, but also very entertaining. Guys, yeah, like I said, for like what, the 8th time this video, this is the final week of the regular season, and we move straight into the play-in games tomorrow. So yeah, shortened regular season, 10 less games, but another season in the National Basketball Association in the books, and it was a very good one. But yeah, everybody, I can't thank you all enough for sticking around week by week and watching these videos, no matter how late it came out. From the progress from when I now started in week 2, because I didn't know I wanted to do it in week 1. From week 2 to now, it's a lot of progress, a lot more information. The videos have gone a lot longer, but more information and more interesting things I thought you guys would want to know. And you know, you start finding these things and you find more information, and it was a very fun process. I've had a lot of fun making these videos, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching these videos. And thanks again. Is that it? Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, you know the drill by now. More NBA content coming out shortly, but I think I'm gonna switch over to NFL for a while. And I think that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around for the entire series and to the end of this video. But until next time, you guys, stay safe, and I'll see you all again.